Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Today, I'm going to look at 7 strange mysteries that remain unsolved. So, I usually don't like stuff like this that's like unsolved, that has no closure or anything like that. But sometimes it's kind of interesting, I guess, to kind of come up with your own theory of what might have happened or something. But let's check this out right now. Most amazing top 7.
She got out of her room. It was locked from the outside. It's as if she evaporated straight through the walls.
Sometimes things just happen, and other times they happen for sinister reasons.
Shutter
Freak
Island.
accidents occur all the time, but so do well-planned tragedies. The problem is that one cannot always distinguish between the two. Was the object or person just at the wrong place at the wrong time? Or did someone make sure they would be? Here are 7 disturbing mysteries that remain unsolved. The disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. This took place on March 8, 2014. While flying from Malaysia to China, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 passengers and crew members seemed to vanish into thin air. The multinational search effort, the largest in aviation history, has turned up a mere 20 pieces of aircraft debris. The Prime Minister of Malaysia has declined to comment, other than to say that the aircraft disappeared over the Indian Ocean. The lack of closure has engendered multiple theories.
It could have gone anywhere. I mean, the ocean's so big, and if they did find some of it, I would assume that it blew up. Or maybe it was shot down.
Many of which are considered conspiracy theories, which, according to Harvard professor Cass Sunstein, are a natural product of horrific and disastrous situation, because such events make people angry, fearful, and looking for a target. Theories include hijacking, capture by the United States, a fire aboard the aircraft, vertical entry into the sea, a meteor strike, and even alien abduction. Notwithstanding the passage of 3 years and the expenditure of $160 million, scouring thousands of square miles of ocean, the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 and the 239 people aboard remains a mystery.
Well, I don't think we'll ever know.
Of Magdalena Zook. Magdalena Zook and her boyfriend Marcus, who was supposed to travel with her to the all-inclusive resort, but issues with his passport made him ineligible for a visa. Having spent the money already, Zook traveled to Marsa Alam, Egypt, alone. But just a day in, she began acting strangely. She sent messages to friends back in Poland and told them she was hearing voices in her room. A video from the hotel shows her lying motionless in the doorway to her room dressed in just a bathrobe. When concerned, hotel staff informed her parents. They decided to bring
Maybe she had like a psychotic break, or they haven't said if she was bipolar or anything, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe she had a psychotic break of some kind.
Her home early, just 3 days into the trip. CCTV footage from the hospital shows Zook lashing out at staff and attempting to run away as they try to restrain her. During her stay, she FaceTimed her boyfriend Marcus. Marcus filmed the conversation from the separate phone. She appears distressed, babbling incoherently, and begging Marcus to come and get her.
Nie bój się, powiedz mi. Skarbie, Maciek cię zabierze. Dobrze? Rozumiesz? Skarbie, słuchasz mnie? Myszko?
Oni tutaj mają różne sztuczki, zabierz mnie stąd, oni tutaj wszystko robią. Zabierz mnie.
Ale co robią? Co robią? Powiedz mi.
Nie,
Oh, she looks really scared.
Zabierzemy cię. Maciek już po ciebie leci, ale co oni robią? Skarbie, nie bój się. Mów do mnie, nie bój.
Nie mogę mówić.
Kochanie, powiedz mi. Musisz mi powiedzieć, bo ja wtedy zadzwonię tam do ambasady, żeby ktoś miał nad tobą opiekę. Powiedz mi to, proszę cię. Mów.
Nie daj, słuchaj, nie daj.
Ale powiedz mi, co oni tobie zrobili. Tylko to mi powiedz. Ja, kochanie, ja już wszystko załatwiłem. Maciek jutro po ciebie będzie.
Like that.
Ktoś ci coś tam zrobił? Tak?
Nie da, nie widzę, że to może było to lekko, nic nie da, to nic nie da, to nic.
Kochanie, ja jutro po ciebie będzie jutro po ciebie Maciek, tylko mi powiedz, co się stało.
Zresztą.
Co się stało? Powiedz mi, musisz mi powiedzieć. Tak? Ale
I do pracy. Ja nie wrócę stąd.
wrócisz stąd. Wrócisz.
I think she was taken.
Kochanie, co się stało? Powiedz mi, co się stało.
To nic nie da.
Ale powiedz mi, ja to muszę wiedzieć. Myszko,
Oni trzymają telefon, ja nie mogę im ci powiedzieć.
bo ja chcę cię chronić. Powiedz mi, proszę cię, tylko musisz mi to powiedzieć szybko, teraz.
When he asks what happened, she answers cryptically with the letter M.
Co M? Co M? Ten rezydent? Tak?
The video ends with her tour guide, Mahmoud, takes the phone and tells Marcus in Polish, "This is a waste of time."
Marcos, halo?
No, słucham.
Wydaj mi to strata czasu. Ja będę dzwonił teraz znowu do ambasady tutaj w Egipcie, dobrze?
No dobrze, a możesz poprosić Magdę, żeby włączyła telefon?
Magda, włączy telefon, bo Marcos chce dzwonić do ciebie. Wyłączy twój telefon, proszę. Daj teraz okej, dobrze.
After a few hours of the call, she jumped out of her room's window and threw herself out from the second floor in order to escape, landing on a flat concrete and
I think-
died on the spot. The
I don't
papers
know,
were
of
filled
course,
with suspicion
just
of the
thoughts.
dark-skinned man, Mahmoud, at the end of the video, and Mahmoud quickly became
I
a
think sex
suspect,
trafficking.
even though there is no evidence of his involvement in the death. The police interviewed Mahmoud shortly after the incident, but released him without charge. The spotlight was turned on Zook's boyfriend, following unsubstantiated rumors of him being a drug dealer and using Zook to smuggle narcotics into Egypt, or he sold her. Another story, posted on the Polish news portal Pikio, suggested Zook had been a victim of criminal activity led by a local mob boss named Captain Khaled, but no one has any concrete evidence. What really happened to her is still a mystery.
That one really makes you think, because she could have had a psychotic break or something like that, but the way she was acting, she acted really, truly scared of something. Either, I think, yeah, I said it already, but I think it was sex trafficking, and she didn't want to go through it, so she jumped out of the window. Or maybe they threw her out, but I don't know why, what they would have to gain from that.
Unexplained disappearance of Kenny Veach. In 2014, experienced hiker Kenny Veach posted a comment on YouTube about a mysterious cave he found in the Nevada desert. He claimed that the cave, located near Nellis Air Force Base, was shaped like a perfect capital M, and upon entry had caused his body to intensely
That's
and
close to
violently
Area
vibrate,
51, I think.
terrified and confused. He then left the area. He claimed that this was the only cave he'd ever feared, but that he was determined to find it. He was not a man to be scared easily, often hiking in a dangerous territory with meager supplies. He had also had plenty of experience handling deadly wild animals. In a video he filmed on the second hike, he oddly claimed he was being watched by a mysterious black ram. He decided to try again, this time arming himself with a gun. One anonymous YouTube user told Kenny in a comment, quote, "No, don't go back there. If you find the cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." Despite the dangers, he set out on November 10th. He never returned. A search could only find his cell phone, which was discovered near an abandoned mine shaft. His hikes indeed were intense, but this hike in particular was harsh, remote, unpredictable, and replete with danger. Some speculate he may also end his own life. Others say he may have ran from his life to start a fresh life somewhere else. Most interesting speculation is based of Kenny's claims of the cave's effect on his body.
Maybe
Now
he got
his Air
lost
Force
in the
base
cave.
is linked to many odd conspiracy theories of military experiments, subterranean tunnels and secret passage, and secret research projects. Area 51, the most famous top-secret military base, is relatively close to the site.
Yeah.
The bizarre case remains a mystery.
So maybe they just took him too.
The disappearance of Walter Collins. In 2008, Clint Eastwood's film Changeling reawakened interest in one of the most bizarre and tragic crime stories of the 1920s. Single mom Christine Collins reported,
I remember this one. The woman's son came. Well, I heard about it. I don't think I was around when it happened, but the woman's son came up missing, and they said they had found him and brought him back, and she claimed that was not her son.
her 9-year-old son, Walter, missing in March 1928 from their home in Los Angeles. 5 months later, the police brought Walter back to Christine. Except it wasn't Walter,
Yeah.
and Christine knew it. But the LA police dismissed Christine's concerns, going so far as to accuse her of terrible
Yeah,
mothering
1928.
and having
that
her
was
committed
way
to a mental
before I was
hospital.
around.
The real Walter Collins was never found, and over time, authorities came to believe he was one of the victims of the convicted child murderer Gordon Stewart Northcott. Whatever happened to Walter Collins, his body was never found, and no one ever learned what really happened. Nor has it been established with any certainty why the police were so invested in covering up the boy's disappearance that they brought a different child back to Christine and tried to convince her and the rest of the world that it was Walter. Emma
Crazy.
Filipoff disappearance.
I haven't
In
heard
the
of a
fall
lot
of
of these.
2011, 26-year-old Emma Filipoff moved to Victoria, BC from Perth, Ontario. By November 2012, she was missing, never to be seen again. During the latter part of this period, she began sleeping on Sandy Miriam House, a shelter for vulnerable and impoverished women. She had also purchased a van, which she used for both transport and as accommodation. On November 23rd, Emma called her mother to announce that she wanted to return home. Teary and upset, she continued to call her mother in the period leading up to November 28th. During the final call at 4:30 a.m., she told her mother, quote, "I don't know how I can face you," and "Don't come, Mom, not today." When her mother decided to do just that, arriving at 11 p.m., she found her daughter wasn't in the shelter. No one has heard from her, since friends reported that she had been feeling stressed and upset, claiming that according to Emma, an unknown figure had been harassing and worrying her. She was isolated,
Again.
paranoid, depressed, and felt a compulsion to escape on the day of her disappearance. Emma visited the same 7-Eleven store on 2 separate occasions. The first time, she purchased a $200 prepaid credit card. The second time, she purchased a prepaid cell phone. CCTV images show her peering out of the store windows into the parking
Yeah.
lot. She appears to be looking for someone or something.
See, now if I was the
CCTV from
cashier
a
in there, I'd
YMCA
be
in
asking her,
Victoria,
do you need
shot
help?
5 days before her disappearance, shows Emma entering and leaving the building multiple times within a 14-minute period. She looks as if she might be avoiding someone. After calling a cab,
Like someone's
Emma
following
asked to
her
be
or
driven to
something.
the airport. She then changed her mind, asking instead to be dropped off in the exact same spot she was picked up. Minutes later, she was seen standing barefoot on the street corner. The acquaintance who spotted her, Dennis Quay, claimed she was looking shifty and paranoid, and that she was looking constantly around her. He then called the police, who spoke with her in person outside of the Empress Hotel, but decided that she was not a threat to herself or anyone else. She told officers that she was not suicidal. They released her. This was her last known sighting. Her van was found in the parking lot of the Chateau Victoria Hotel with her belongings. No one knows what happened to her to this day and how she disappeared without a trace. The documentary about Emma's disappearance is scheduled to be released in the fall of 2020.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what could have happened to her other than when the one line she said to her mother about, I don't know how I could face you. Maybe she had, like, turned to prostitution or something. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I'm just kind of spitballing. Maybe she turned to prostitution, and the person that she was scared of was maybe the pimp, or maybe a John or something that creeped her out. I don't know. It's crazy. Or maybe she, like the other one, might have had a psychotic break of some kind. Strange.
The Lars Mittank mystery. Reports state that Mittank, in July 2014, had flown to the Bulgarian seaside resort of Golden Sands along with his friend from their home in Itzehoe, northern Germany. The group of friends continued to enjoy their holiday until Lars was injured after he got into a fight one night. Mittank was punched in the head and was left with a perforated eardrum and a possible concussion. He was then prescribed an antibiotic and was forced to stay back in Bulgaria and avoid boarding the plane, as the air pressure changes would have hurt his ear while his friends flew home. Mittank eventually had to check into a cheap hotel called Hotel Color near Varna Airport. Mittank's mother got a horrifying call from her son later from his hotel room, where her panicked son told her that he was being followed by some people who were trying to kill him. In CCTV footage, he was seen entering the Varna airport and texted his mother he had safely made it to the airport terminal. However, when an airport doctor was examining him before flight, he reportedly appeared nervous and erratic and was also mistrustful of the drugs he had been prescribed by the physician. The airport doctor, Dr. Kostakostov, later said that Mittank began to tremble when he saw a construction worker entering the room and cried, "I don't want to die here. I have to get out of here."
Do you think maybe it had to do with the fight that he got in? Maybe they came back after him or something?
It was then when the man began running from the airport terminal, leaving all his belongings behind, running for his life.
Yeah, I've
passing
seen
boarding
this.
gates,
I remember
check-in
seeing
desks
that.
out of the airport, over the fence into the woods. He was never spotted again after that incident.
Maybe more than the perforated eardrum, maybe it damaged his brain too or something.
Pollock sisters reincarnated. Today, 24% of Americans believe in reincarnation. Every once in a while, an unsolved mystery comes around that is so compelling and otherwise unexplainable that it gives even scientists pause. In 1957, two young English sisters, Joanna Pollock, 11, and Jacqueline Pollock, 6, died in a tragic car accident. 1 year later, their mother gave birth to twins, Jillian and Jennifer. When the twins were old enough to talk, they began identifying and requesting toys that had belonged to their dead sisters, pointing out landmarks only their dead sisters would have known, such as the school they attended, and sometimes panicking upon seeing cars idling. "That car is coming to get us," they report.
Maybe instead of reincarnation, it was just the spirit of the two little girls connecting with them because, you know, their blood.
Reportedly shrieked on one occasion. After the twins get old, these incidents became less frequent. The girls went on to lead normal lives. Still, the story of the Pollock sisters made its way to Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychologist who studied reincarnation after studying thousands of supposed cases. Dr. Stevenson wrote a book of 14 he believed to have been real, including that of the Pollock sisters.
Well, that was interesting. That was from Most Amazing Top 7. 7 disturbing mysteries that remain unsolved. Haunting disappearances. They're crazy. The scariest one to me was the one of the girl talking on the telephone with her boyfriend. She looked really scared to me. There was something fishy going on there with that Mahmoud or whatever his name was. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of that. Now, how about a joke? What do you call Batman when he skips out of church? Christian Bale. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, #MeanGene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, Tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.